Oh yeah! Call me Gerry, son, I'm from the Smokin gun. You can ask me anything that you want, so come on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got me doing what you want me to do. Baby, what do you want me to do? Alright, come on. Woo! Woo! How we doing? I'm Gerry Son from Gerry Son and the Smokin Gun. Welcome to the AMA Ask Me Anything. So, shall we get started? Before I get started, I'm going to take this off because I think there's probably enough social distance between us as it is to stay safe. So just stay safe everybody, please, for the love of Jehovah or Jeebus or whatever you believe in. Just stay safe, guys. Okay, I'm going to take these bad boys off. Oh, take this off before I get drafted in for a new Mortal Kombat movie or something, man. Oh yes, we remember those days. But anyway, so shall we start with the questions? Question numero uno. And it is from, let's see what we have here, from Louise McCallum, and it is, how do you write songs, music or lyrics first? Very good question. I would say I write songs lyrics first sometimes, and music first other times. And then the best times is when you write the lyrics and the music at the same time. Loads of songs have been done those three different ways. But the best ones, my favourite ones, are the ones where it happens at the same time and they're kind of married. You know, and they don't exist without the other part of the song, if you will. But yeah, I write songs any way I can possibly do it. Anyway, question number two is from my very own, my male mucker. It's for Roddy the Body McKenzie, and it is, what is your favourite biscuit? Tough question. I mean, I didn't know the question was going to get that tough. But the question, I would probably say, it's going to be controversial. It's not exactly a biscuit technically. I would say a Jaffa cake, just to be controversial. The Jaffa cake is an impeccable example of what can be done. It's what a feat of engineering it is. Technically, I think it's a cake, but we're just going to go with Jaffa cake for this one. And if you've got any comments on whether it's a cake or a biscuit, let me know in the comments below, and I'll get back to you, and we can settle this once and for all, fisticuffs. Anyway, question number three is from Aaron Hopkirk of the band The Colony. Excellent band. They've got a new single out, so check that out. Soul Saviour. Yeah, I believe that's it. Yeah, check that out. Google. But anyway, the question is, how has life been for the band during lockdown? And what's your favourite song from the new album? Oh, it's a double-edged sword, double question. So I would say it's been good for the band during lockdown. You know, it's been quiet, so no gigs sadly, but it's meant that we can up our social media game and in terms of things like us talking to you guys, letting you know what's going on, which is awesome, man. And it's probably good because in terms of recording, we've got a lot of things in the pipeline at the minute, because every single one of the guys in the band has like some kind of facility to record at home. You know, Ross has got his Yamaha EAD, I believe it's called, which is a drum mic. Greg's got recording, the bass player. Roddy's studio is where we record all of our stuff. So Roddy's got the facilities there, and I've got my kind of recording set up in this room here. This is my sanctuary. This is my man cave, if you will. But so it's been good. You know, it's been really, really, really positive, really solid. And we're keeping the ball moving, rolling with other projects and stuff. So watch the space. Favourite song on the album? I love the input, every bit of input the guys had in the album. Favourite song at the minute for me is Ghosts, because it starts with this really kind of chilling acoustic guitar and a piano, and it builds up to this big epic ending, which is like, you know, quite cinematic. Somebody told me, so I quite like that. It's a good review. But check that out. Check out Ghosts. That's what I'm really digging at the minute. So let's see. Question numero, what have we got? 4. From George Struthers. What album would you get caught speeding to? Now that's an interesting question because I don't drive. So whether it be roller skates, skateboards, I don't know, a bike, you know, you're probably more likely to see me in those types of transport. But I get the question, if you're speeding, you know, that kind of an album that's really kind of getting you buzzing, you know. When I lived in Berlin, Lust for Life by Iggy Pop was on constantly because it was recorded at Hansa by the Wall with David Bowie producing the album. and love that record. There's so many great, there's got a great vibe, got a great mojo to it, you know. And also Cut Speed, and I'd probably say there's a band called Neu from Germany, which I discovered when I was living in Berlin. They get called krautrock or cosmic music. That's a genre of experimental German kind of rock music, but it's worth checking out. It's really cool. And on their first album, Neu's first album, they had a song called Hallo Gallo, and I read a review which said if that song lasted your entire life, it still wouldn't be long enough because it's incredible. It's like this kind of motoric drum beat, absolutely incredible. It's quite psychedelic and stuff. But check that out, awesome band. What else have we got? Number 5. This is from question number 5 from Connor Anderson. Which album? The album you cannot live without. Right. So with lockdown, I find that I've been listening to a lot more jazz. You know, in the house. You know, it's kind of more relaxing. It's more kind of intuitive in some kind of ways. So I've upped my jazz intake in the last couple of months. So my favourite would probably be, let's just have a wee look here. When Chet Baker Sings is the album. I'm a massive Chet Baker fan. I love his trumpet playing is incredible, very lyrical, and I love his singing. It's an album basically of songs where he sings and plays the horn. Really, really haunting, romantic songs. Really great, haunting voice, incredible. Definitely worth checking out. So that's been my lockdown album. Outside of that, Nick Cave, Push the Sky Away. Nick Cave is in such great form at the minute. In the last couple of years, I think they're really sounding great in the last couple of years, better than ever. But Push the Sky Away is an incredible album, so check that out. That's consistently been on my record player since it came out years ago. Right, so let's see what else we've got. Question number 6. Who is the best band of all time? Oh, that's easy. That's the Beatles, baby. That's the Beatles. The Beatles, man. Because they're just they set the template for what we do going forward in terms of where you can go, what you can do with music, what you can say, how experimental you can be with it, even, you know. Love the Beatles. Absolutely incredible canon of work, you know. It influences us all every day. But best band of all time. My favourite band is the Beatles. But if we're talking about best bands, I think I need to mention Queen. I think Queen are an incredible band. But I use the word band because if you took any of the 4 guys out of Queen, it wouldn't be as good. You know, I think you need a band as the sum of all the parts. So, and the Beatles were as well. But I think Queen, in terms of virtuosity, are probably my second favourite band behind the Beatles, which is a pretty good shout for Queen. I know. Anyway, so next question. That was from Gerard Sherritt's, that one. Tea or coffee? That's a question from Irene Horn. I would probably say tea, because tea is, I mean, how can you not live without tea? It's like, it just soothes you, man. It just makes life better. You know, if anything's happening in life, anything challenging, anything bad, cup of tea, just put a kettle on, cup of tea, and it'll improve any situation. It soothes you, man. It just brings you back. It brings you back, you know, to that moment, you know. Centre yourself with a cup of tea, mate, you know. But anyway, doesn't matter what you put in your tea, but tea's good anyway. Coffee's good as well, but tea's better. Anyway, top 5 frontmen, dead or alive. Oh wow, you spin me right round. That's from Grant McCabe. Okay, so 5 front men and 5 front women. So let's just say, no particular order. David Bowie is an absolute hero of mine. A whole back catalogue work. If you've not heard much of David Bowie's back catalogue, check it out, man. No, not just the greatest hits. Go to the albums because there's incredible stuff there. Great writer, great performer. Just from another stratosphere. Really, just a gift to the world. Dave was. Next, I'd probably say Freddie Mercury would have to be my top 5. What can you say about Freddie? I love the Bohemian Rhapsody movie came out and kind of solidified that idea of Freddie Mercury as this genius to a lot of people that maybe weren't aware of it, you know. But Freddie Mercury, absolutely, he's a frontman personified, you know. Who else? Jimi Hendrix, big influence on myself, guitar player and singer. Whether he's humping a guitar or whether he's, you know, flicking his tongue to ladies in the audience, or whether he's setting fire to guitar, playing it with his teeth. He just captivated, and just you couldn't stop looking at him. on stage regardless of what else was happening. Incredible. So check out some of Jimi Hendrix's stuff or some of his live performances on YouTube and you'll see what I mean. And apart from that, maybe Prince, because Prince is just he has royal purple badness. He's a bad motherfucker. So what can I say? Prince is amazing. See, I seen him at the O2 and he was absolutely on fire. And he played every instrument better than the guy or woman whose job in the band it was to play that instrument. And he did it backwards in high heels. So there you go. What can I say? He's a legend. And then number 5, I'll probably to keep it rock centric, I would probably say Adam Ant is a great frontman. I think Adam Ant is incredible. I seen him a couple of years ago, and he's still every bit as good as he was when he was like 19 or something like that. You know, back in 81 or 82 or whatever. Incredible. So yeah, I mean, there's loads. I could mention loads like Jim Morrison, Jagger, and all these guys, but that's the first 5 that came to my head. So buzzing. So females. Let's talk about female front ladies, whatever you want to say, really. I'd probably say Kate Bush. I adore Kate Bush. I think the world is a better place that she's in it, and I wish she would do more live shows because I want to see her play live and fling my knickers at her, woo, like that. But anyway, so Kate Bush, legend. Check her out. Absolute. I mean, she just there's a vulnerability to her music that is empowering. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's so human. I think she's the most human of us all in terms of her writing and her creativity. She just absolutely astounds me every time. But anyway, frontwomen, Debbie Harry from Blondie, absolute badass. She can sing. She's got the look. She just seems to emit light when you see her on stage. You know, she glows. She's just like she's one of the chosen ones. You know. Anyway, so Debbie Harry, Blondie, badass. Then I'd probably say, I don't know, Ronnie Spector from the Ronettes, absolutely amazing, great voice, great look, absolutely captivating, incredible. And then probably the best singer, the best female singers of all time are probably Ella Fitzgerald is probably the greatest female singer of all time. I haven't been alive all time, but from what I've heard, Ella Fitzgerald is just incredible. She's just the way she sings, her note choice, her delivery. It's just, if you haven't heard Ella Fitzgerald, check her out. And she did an album or two with 3 albums, I believe, with Louis Armstrong. So check them out because they're absolutely incredible records. And Billie Holiday as well. And not to forget Billie. I mean, Billie Holiday's Lady Day, man. She's incredible. And such a great voice, almost a horn-like, you know, almost like a trumpet, almost. Really jazzy, note choice, incredible. So check out Billie Holiday and Ella Fitzgerald, amazing. So let's see, question number 9 from Princess Peter from The Colony. Great band, great guys. And it is old school amp or new school amp modelling. Well, that's an easy one. I would say I'm a bit of a dinosaur when it comes to amps. I love a valve amp. I love it when it's cooking super hot. So valve amps every day they make, it's not that they sound better, I just think they interact with your playing better. You know, there's something about the pickup in the room with the valve amp blaring in the corner, whereas modelling amps, they didn't do it, when you turn them down on the volume, they didn't have the same response, or they don't clean up the same way. I don't know if that makes sense, but to me that's how I feel. But we do use a lot of Kemper modelling amps, profiling amps on the new album, and Roddy's a big user of Kemper, but I love my Fender Bassbreaker amp. I just love a wee combo amp running flat out, incredible, saturated, sexy, yeah. Anyway, question number 10, how does Gerry Sun and the Smokin' Gun differ from any other project you have been a part of, and what is the future of Gerry Sun and the Smokin' Gun? And that's from Louise McGlade. I would probably say it differs because we're such a tight-knit unity guys. I think we've all been in bands before, and I think this is us coming together to really focus what we want, you know, this time round. I think we were in bands really young, all of us, and this kind of time round we've got a great relationship, and it feels really solid, and they're great guys. So I can bring any song into the guys, and just for the guys playing in it and suggesting stuff, it becomes 100 times better. And what more could you ask than that? It feels great. It's such a positive environment. Every rehearsal we have, It's just so we're here to make great music, and everybody supports each other for that, it's a good community, man. It's great. But anyway, my brothers, man. In the future, so for the future, we've got so much stuff in the can. I think a lot is super secret, so I can't tell you now. But we've got music videos, a couple music videos coming up. One later this month in support of the album Cheap Dirty Love, which is out now. And we also have, I shouldn't be saying this, but we're in process of recording a new super secret EP at the minute, which we might release pretty soon, depending how we feel, depending on when we finish it, with the lockdown, etc. And we're also talking about having a Christmas single, which might or might not happen. So watch this space. You know, you could see us in beards and dressed in Santa outfits. You never know. And then we're hopefully going to be starting work on demos for the brand new album, the Next Again album, at the end of the year. So keep your eyes peeled and watch this space. Exciting times ahead. So let's see, what else have we got? Question 11, we've got a couple left. Question 11, food or sex? And that is from Grant Higgins. My answer would be yes, please. Because you can't have one without the other, man, you know. That's that's it, man. Man cannot live in bread alone. That's all I'm going to say in that one. But anyway, question number 12 is: would you ever what does it say? Would you ever or have you ever written a conceptual record? And that's from Richard Patterson. My old mate. I think every record is a conceptual record. Since, you know, it doesn't have to be an whole album, but you know, I think each record kind of has its own narrative and its own little world that it kind of exists in. So I think they're all conceptual, I suppose, in many ways. You can ask me about any of the lyrics, and I would just tell you straight up what's happening. I think it's nice to leave a bit of space for people to make their own decisions about songs, but I think I'm open to tell people what I was thinking at the time. You know, it doesn't bother me. But yeah, I think every song's commercial. Conceptual somehow, you know. Pleasure Pursuits was a conceptual record because it was all about vanitas. It was all about the pursuit of pleasure. So each song's got this kind of this feel to it, you know. And then a song like this was kind of a manifesto record for the way we think about where we are thinking about music that's out at the minute, and what our kind of what our manifesto is as a band moving forward. Play a little song like this, you know. So check that out as well. So they're all concepts, you know, and I suppose Cheap Dirty Love has a kind of apocalyptic, end of the world, get your kicks before the whole place goes on fire feel to fit the times, I suppose. And a couple of people have commented on that, but yeah, I suppose they're all conceptual, but never a concept album in the classic sense, you know, the 70s prog sense. But you never know, watch this space. So what else have we got? Question number 13, 2 to go. Would you ever consider performing live songs where you are just singing and not playing the guitar? That's from Angela Horn. I would love that. I would absolutely love to be free of the guitar and just sing for you guys. But to me, it's always been a security blanket, you know, where, you know, no matter how bad my singing is, I can somehow, you know, you can also play something like that, you know, and hide behind it. So you never know. But yeah, I'd love to do some songs with him. I'm sure we can get Roddy to take the guitar duties himself without me, and I'm sure we could maybe try it. So yeah, I look forward to that. So we'll maybe do that when we go on tour. So watch this space. Last question. Last question is: would you rather have one 450k 59 Gibson Les Paul, or would you rather have a lifetime supply of $1,000 Gibsons? That's a very easy question, and I would take the lifetime supply of $1,000 Gibsons every day, because one guitar, you never know, like what something happens to that one guitar, then you've got a lifetime supply of other ones. And I don't think price really has anything to do with it, man, because if you guys have seen my rig rundown, this guitar here is I don't know if you've seen that Manito. It's just a Far Eastern copy, but it's incredible. It's all over the album and the EPs, and you'll see me playing this live. $50 this costs. So The price is not everything, so you never know. But anyway, that's me for the night. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Let me know if you've got any more questions or any comments. Put them below, and I can see if I can have a wee look and answer anything you want, guys. But it's been a pleasure. Until next time, much love. Take care.